Hey everybody, it's Angie Atkinson, and with me today is
Be Rad Celebrity Stylist again with you for another exciting episode of the Empowered Empath.
Woot Woot. Okay, here we are. So, while we are waiting for the chat to pop up, let me just remind you that my name is Angie Atkinson, and on this channel, I offer free daily video coaching to help you discover, understand, and overcome narcissistic abuse and toxic relationships. I like to call it toxic relationship rehab. So, if that sounds good to you, please hit that subscribe button and we will get going. I just want to fix my view. There we go. Now we can see both of us on the screen, I think. All right. So we're just going to jump right into our content today, and then we're going to open up for questions as usual. Before I do that, though, let me just tell you what happened this morning. Why I was late is because my daughter's not feeling well and she needed my assistance. So let's just jump right into it. So today, Brad, we're talking about how to find your calling in life for empaths. So, right? A lot of
We
people,
are,
yeah,
yes.
it's good stuff. A lot of people go around feeling really perplexed about their calling in life. Like some people wonder whether what their calling in life has to do with anything anyway. They don't care about it, right? Empaths typically want to know. There is a good reason people need to think about their life calling. And the reason is that most people need to feel a higher cause for their lives and their existence. A lot of people have a spiritual side, especially empaths, and they need to feel that they're not born to just live through a series of experiences just to die.
That's right. They also need to feel that there are reasons why they experience the things that they do. They need to feel that they use various experiences that they go through in life for a higher calling are good.
Right.
Yeah.
And with all of that said, just how do you go about finding your calling in life? There are so many ways you can go about this, but for one thing, a person could set aside some time for contemplation and meditation. What else, Brad?
As a matter of fact, contemplation and meditation is a necessity of the accomplishment. So you find a nice quiet place that allows you to open up your mind, think about the things that you've experienced, so far in your life.
Absolutely. Joyful or painful, those experiences have taught you something about people and about yourself. So think about, how did you handle those situations?
Exactly. Did you learn how to handle the situation in a healthy way? Did you handle things in an unhealthy way? Do you know the difference? All of these questions and more can be clues to finding out your calling in life.
Yeah, and particularly for people who have lived lives full of pain and suffering. Using those experiences will to find your purpose in your life can be healing. If people thought that they were simply suffering in vain, then this might make them feel like they don't have any worth or that their lives don't matter.
Exactly. And if they can share their sufferings and how they overcame those sufferings, then they now have life purpose. Their purpose could be uplifting others who have suffered the same fate. You could become a light of hope, an inspiration to those who might feel like nobody understands and what you're going through.
Exactly. Another way you can find your life calling is to meditate and contemplate on the things that make you happy and that make you feel joy. Wouldn't it be great to be able to use your energy, especially professionally, doing the things that bring happiness and joy to other people? Yeah, of course it would. So take the time to calculate out how you can use your positive energy and your light as the purpose for your life.
Exactly. Finding your life purpose can take years, and sometimes it takes all of your life to look back and realize that your purpose in life was. However, once you find it, you will find such a sense of fulfillment, peace, that others who don't realize their life purpose will never have.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. So, what do you guys think about that? Let me like just open up for questions. What do you think your life purpose is? Do you know yet? Are you still working on figuring it out? Let's hear from you guys in the comments. And while you're putting those in there, let me just go ahead and say hello to everybody. Carlita Vega in the house. Good morning.
Hey.
Malta says, welcome to the Empowered Empath with Angie and Brad, and thank you for sharing that information about technical difficulties in Malta. Stand Firm says, good morning, good morning. And Carlita says she loves today's topic. She needs this. Awesome. What do you think about it so far? Shannon O'Brien says, hey, Angie and everybody. Hey.
Hey.
And Rose Hargrove in the house. Good morning. And good morning, Ashley. Hello, hello, Miss Lily. Bonnie, she says, good morning, Angie. Were you on yesterday? Yes, I was. I was brief yesterday because I had my meeting with Melina, as I do every Monday, but I was here for a while. Uh, VG333 in the house says, good morning. Good morning. And Malta says, good morning to myself and to you, B Rad.
Hey, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Andrea Christensen says, Lost Child is the one in trouble. Scapegoat is here for me. Hides things he thinks might hurt me. Golden Child is not around, trying to figure out the dynamics and how I can help my lost child. Okay, that is something that I can discuss with you in more detail during our afternoon session today, and I will make a video for you specifically on the lost child. Andrea, stay tuned for that. Eddie Knows says, I made it. I got my ears wide open and I'm ready to learn. Well, welcome back. Welcome back, Eddie. Latanya Davis in the house. Hello to Latanya. And Tommy D says, morning, Ange, B, Rad, and all. And Malda says, thank you for joining us. Carlita, Stand Firm, Shannon, Rose, Ashley, Ms. Lily, Bonnie, VG, Andrea Christensen, Eddie Knows, Latanya Davis, and Tanya D. That's pretty impressive, Malta. Um, Sheila in the house says, good morning, all you uber awesome folk. Hey, girl. Hey, how you doing? Uh, Eddie Knows. Okay, let's see. Pete Lautenschlager is here. He says, hello, Angie. Love your info. Much appreciated. My pleasure. Carlita says, hello to Malta and hello to everyone in chat. Kate says, good morning, Angie. Just found your videos last week and I have found such validation in hearing things I experienced with my awful narcissist and have found support in venting and etc. Thank you. My pleasure. And I hope you're enjoying. I hope you are looking into the SPAN group. Have you joined that yet? It's queenbeing.com/SPAN. Free, easy. Jump right in there. Find some more support outside of these daily videos. I'm glad you are enjoying that. Bonnie says, good morning to Malta. Eddie Knows. Okay, let's just scroll on down here. Okay. Adrian says, good morning. Good morning, Adrian. I lost my place now. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. So we have Adrian says, good morning to you as well, Brad, and to Malta and everyone.
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Wow, the feed is blowing up.
Yes, indeed. Pete says, empath dating site sounds like a better combo than empath and narc. Ain't that the truth? Good idea. That could be your business idea, Pete. Sonia says, hello. Of course, you know that there will be narc trolls all over that site anyway, but it is a good idea. If there was some way you could test into it, maybe. Let's see. Tommy D says, explore different niches until you find something you're good at and enjoy at the same time. That's how I found my life calling, prayer, trying different things, failing, enjoyment. Yeah, that's what it's all about, Tommy, for sure. Yeah. Let's see here. Malta says, good morning, Adrian. And Sonia is in the house. Bonnie says, I don't even know where to start. Well, you've got time to think about that. What would you do? What would you do if you were doing it for free? If you had no if you didn't have to worry about money, you didn't have to worry about anything, and like you woke up tomorrow, life is perfect, what would you be doing if you didn't have to make money? Think about that. That's important. Once you got done shopping and swimming and roller skating and all that stuff, what would you do then? you know, all the things we want to do, we don't have time to do because we work. Let's see here. Carlita says, I'm doing well, Eddie. How are you? She doesn't speak much Spanish. No habla español. She says just her last name. Let's see here. Bonnie says, good morning to you, Brad. Faith says, Faith says, hey, everybody. And Kristen Mills says, hi, all. Maura DeLuca says she's just popping in before starting work, but she needs to listen to this later. It's right up her alley. Malta says, hey, Faith and Kristen. Shannon O'Brien says, hi, B Rad. Eddie Knows says, hi, Maura. Oh my gosh. Cheryl Wooster says, I'm 56 and I still don't have a clue to my purpose. Well, I suspect that you maybe have some idea deep inside of yourself. What are you passionate about? What excites you? What would you add to this, B Rad?
Yeah, exactly. Another thing, if you don't know what you're passionate about, is go the opposite and say, what are you not passionate about? Because exactly, if you know what you don't like, then that can steer you into maybe a lane or a path or a direction of where you do want to. I think for most people, they want to help others in some capacity, but finding your life purpose, I think it's tough. And sometimes it does. Yes, like we said before, it does take a lifetime to find it.
Hmm. For sure, for sure. All right. And let's see here. Hey, Charlene Robinson. Andrea says, I believe my purpose is to use my experiences to encourage others. That is amazing. And that's literally what I do for a living. So I'm with you on that. Yeah. Let's see here. Tommy says, Hola, Miss Vega, and sup, Pedro. I had to get my accent over that one. Okay. Let's see. Faith says, I've always wanted to be a therapist or counselor of sorts, but unfortunately, because of all the pain I've endured, I self medicated through drugs when I was a teenager and have a felony conviction. So, well, Faith, there are other things you can do today. Maybe you can't, you know, uh, get into a position where you're in a medical facility or whatever, but, there's nothing saying you couldn't learn how to coach people. Maybe you could coach other people who are self medicating through drugs, for example. That would be probably an underserved area. Now, that might be difficult financially, but there are other ways you can go around that. You could maybe help the families of those people, for example. Um, an idea. Any thoughts on that, Brad?
Yeah, exactly. Just because there's things that are holding you back doesn't mean you can't learn, you can't study. There's a lot of resources out there. There's a lot of places you can even volunteer, and just to kind of get a better awareness of kind of what's going on. But the best way is to always share your life experience. If it comes from the heart, you have a heart connection with the people that you're helping, it's always going to make a great difference because we're not alone in our life. There's always somebody there who you're, because people say sometimes I can't teach people, but you're always a couple ahead steps of someone else. So even if you're learning social media, if you're a couple of steps ahead of them, you can still teach them. And I think they rather learn from you because if you're right in it, than somebody who wrote something, 30 years ago and hasn't updated it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. And Miss Lily says, I think it would be awesome to find your life's purpose. Often I feel jealous of the people who can just go to their 9 to 5, put in their 8 hours, and come home and feel complete and accomplished. Well, that hardly ever works for empaths. Empaths almost always need to find it, whether it's their work or it's what they do outside of their work. Empaths almost always need to find a way to connect with people and help them in some way. Now, the thing that I find really cool is that, I when I was back in my younger days, when I would work, like for example, when I was a photographer in college, or when I went through I worked at a medical company helping to bill insurances for people that needed specific equipment and needed me to fight the insurance companies for them. Um, I did that stuff, and I at first I struggled to find value in my work, and then I realized, my gosh, I'm literally helping people get things they need. And then in the photographs, I mean, photographs are irreplaceable. You know what I mean? So that worked out. I started to try to find meaning in every job that I ever had. And like B-Rad, he's a a celebrity hairstylist, but your hair matters. And you could have somebody walk into your salon, Brad, feeling like totally disgusting and ugly, and walk out feeling gorgeous. And that's huge because it's not just an external transformation, is it? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, exactly. And that's what the biggest thing is. I think if you want a purpose, I think what it's all about, it is exactly that, the transformation. And because I deal with people not only at external level, but also internal. I'm a person who works with somebody one-on-one. So for me, being in the salon is like it's almost like a vocation. So basically, even though I have hairstyling, I am also a certified life coach. Yay!
Yay.
But I mean, but it's good to have those people skills when you're dealing with people. It's not enough to just do what you do. I constantly train, I constantly learn, I constantly study. I have another life purpose thing that I'm doing now. If it's okay, maybe I can announce it, Angie.
Sure, sure.
Okay, you're like, I have no idea what he's going to say. But this is something we mentioned before. It's basically, if you follow me, you'll see it. But I'm as of November 2018, I made a commitment that I'm going to do an empowerment cruise. So we're going to go, so 5 days on the sea. So basically, we're going to empower you in all the 7 different areas of your life, which is relationships, financial, family, social, just everything that we need. And I haven't asked Angie yet, but I'm going to be the first to ask you here live if you would be one of our educators upon that ship for November 2018.
Yes.
Yay! So you heard it here first, and hold her to it. But that's the thing. It's just making a change in people's lives. And how better can you do that? Because I actually took a course on the weekend, because even though I teach and I train, I also study and go
Me
to other
too.
people's courses and get what they have. And they said, and it's like, I did a visualization exercise. I could feel the people I was helping. I could see the people smiling. I could see the thank yous. I could be on the ship. It's just an amazing, I'm getting like tingly now,
Me
but
too.
just when you can feel it. And that's the thing. So if you don't know what your life purpose is, try visualization. You know what I mean? Either go to somebody who does it, or just make up your own, or listen to some on YouTube that can guide you through an experience. And sometimes through that, they can help you say, this is a reality. This is what I've always wanted to try. This is what I always wanted to do. And from a thought in your head, now can be something concrete and real that can change, if not one, but thousands of lives all around the world.
Absolutely. I love that. Absolutely. Yes. Let's see here. Eddie Knows says, Carlita, me either. Glad you're doing well. Okay, he can't speak Spanish. Um, all right, let's see. Angie L says, Good morning, Angie and Tribe. I feel my purpose is to protect my loved ones from emotional vampires and to live a fulfilling life of love and peace. Perfect. I love that. Bonnie says, I must have had trouble with the live stream yesterday. I reloaded and refreshed today, and it seems to be working fine. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Bonnie. I did miss you yesterday. Sailor says, Hey, Sailor Uranus says, I would love to be a counselor or a social worker, but unfortunately, as a struggling single mother, all a mother of three, that will never be possible. Hold up.
Yeah,
Can't do that,
exactly.
girl. You can't say that'll never be,
No.
it'll never be possible. I mean, that's literally you're choosing to make it not possible when you say that. I would say it will happen one day. I would say I would start to do something to change it. Look into ways. I think I'm going to have to wrap up here in a minute. I'm getting screamed at
Hmm.
here. Um, yeah, be Red. Please talk about that for a
Yeah,
second.
exactly. So I think what you're doing, and what a lot of people do, is you're creating your own limitations. You're creating your own prison, your own block. I can't do this because, or you have a big thing, what I mean? You like big butts, right? So I would like to do this, but this is in the way. This is in the way. But it's choosing, you know what I mean? So if you ever think of that, the songs you think of, I like big butts, but I cannot lie, throw away that excuse bag when you're like, oh, here's another excuse. Here's another excuse. Dig deeper. Here's another excuse. Throw that excuse away, get rid of that bag. The only bags you need are the bags you're packing for the cruise in 2018, but live your life, enjoy your life. You don't need you don't need those limiting beliefs. You really don't, because they're not going to serve you, and they're not going to help you get ahead. Yes, eventually the kids will get older. Yes, the kids will be on your own, but don't live your life with what ifs. Like, never live your life with what ifs.
Your other brothers can't deny. Okay.
No.
Uh, that was great. Um, yeah, I believe you should not limit yourself, Sailor. I think I totally agree with that. I think, you know, you would be shocked how many people make things happen when they're a single mom of three. And I know it's hard, but it's not impossible. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going to have to wrap up. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let Brad talk to you for a minute about keeping, staying the right focus and everything. I'm going to just put my little window up and go check on Screamy out here. I'll be right back.
Okay, hey. So it's just B-Rad here. I can see in the comments, so we can, let's see, we'll look through here and kind of go where we're going from. And then, yeah, mini goals to get there. Exactly. So basically, too, you don't have to worry about the big part of, I can't do this because I have all this stuff. Chunk everything down, make smaller goals. So even if you can get like just little pieces, and then that gets you a little bit closer, whether it's meeting the right people, whether it's, learning stuff on YouTube, whether it's taking a course, whether it's putting yourself in a position and volunteering. You want to make sure that in life, finding your purpose, and a lot of times say it's very tough and some people feel lost, they don't know what to do, they over and over and over, it's like that person really has their whole life together. A lot of times the people that seem like they have their whole lives together are just, the same as you. You know what I mean? It's just the choices you make in life, the limitations you put on yourself, the willingness to kind of let all that go. Biggest thing is self-talk. When you do your self-talk, make sure that you're listening to the words, that you're saying. Are these good and empowering words, or are these words that are putting me down? You want to make sure that your self-talk is empowering to you, and that it'll take you somewhere. The same with the other person, that you talk to, your friends, your family, whatever. You say, well, I'm a mom with 3 kids. I'm this, I'm that. I've always wanted to do this. And they're like, oh, no, you can't do that. You want to make sure that you're not listening to those type of comments, those type of people. You want to make sure that you're listening to the right voice, kind of tune everything out. That's why meditation is great. That's why keeping yourself in an environment where you can have a few minutes that you can just, even if it's a bathroom, you got 3 kids, you're in the bathroom, that's your few minutes away, even if it's a bubble bath, even if it's something, you can just go in, just relax, clear your head, let stuff happen. So Angie's back now, and then we'll go on
Hey.
to some next comments there.
Sorry about that, guys. I have a sick child and she was, yeah. Anyway, okay. Thank you, B-Rat.
Exactly. Well, I just saw a comment there too, one about burnout. And that's the biggest thing too, is with your mind. If it's overactive and you're doing burnout, you know what I mean? And that's a tough thing, because once you go past a certain point of burnout, then you're just like beyond the point of return. So that's why you kind of have to, be conscious of, the thoughts you're thinking.
Yeah, absolutely. I noticed Rose, wait a minute, I'm going to try to find this. Hold on a minute. Okay. Rose says, and I totally agree with this, I believe some of us have more than one purpose or focus careers. That's totally true in my case, and obviously in B-Rad's case as well. It is something that is an ongoing, I'm ever evolving myself, and I'm sure B-Rad is as well. Certainly. Okay. Let's see here. Faith says, I'm still trying to figure out what I can do within my means and help as many as I can if possible. Absolutely. And today we have so many options and so many possibilities that almost anyone can really help people if they want to from almost anywhere. So that's nice. Let's see here. Thank you for putting up the link to, to Span Malta. Stop the Chaos says, I was thinking I actually had my life figured out. It's terrible to have to redesign it, but when things started calming down, I felt myself coming back to my core and just adding to it. Yeah, and don't look at it as terrible. Look at it as an opportunity. I know it sucks, but look at it as an opportunity to redesign your life. You literally can choose your own reality. You really can, up to a certain point anyway, for sure.
Yeah, we're always, oh, sorry. I thought you
No,
were
go
pointing
ahead.
at me. But,
Yeah.
we're always discovering ourselves. We're always learning. We're always growing. We always have different facets of ourselves. If I didn't go in different directions and try, because, for me, I have, which is right beside me, I have a to-do to-do book. And this thing is like filled with notes, because I get notes all the time. I get inspiration all the time.
Mhm.
And then I have to fill it and have a new book. But if I didn't try some stuff, yeah, it's been great and successful. Sometimes not so much. But the thing is, I learned from it, or it put me in a place as a stepping stone to get to that next to get to that next level.
Yeah, absolutely. Tommy D says, I faced my narcissist last night after 9 months in jail. I'm fine and all is okay. I'll fill you in. Okay, Tommy, do. All right. Freedom Lee says, good morning, Angie and B-Rad. Thank you for today's show. I do need to understand why I went through the abuse of the ex-narc. It was awful. I tried being positive, but it's hard this time of the year. I totally understand that. And it is an important part of your healing process to understand. That's why I say, the duo method, discover, understand, overcome. It absolutely helps. Okay. Shannon says, hello to everybody. Okay, let's see here. VG says, sign me up for senior empath dating. Okay, see, somebody's already got a client. Uh,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. Pete says, narc trolls for sure would be the problem. I totally agree. Tamara Lynn is here. She says, good morning, Angie and Brad. Has anyone noticed after discovering narc abuse, realize that most of she wants to know if people realize that most people around them are toxic after they discover narcissist abuse, and that unfortunately happens quite frequently. Yeah. I've got videos about that, and I'll make another one for you, Tamara. Stay tuned. And we can talk more about this in my 1 p.m. session today, um, and see what we can work out with that. All right. It is definitely a nightmare. I totally agree. All right. Susie Bessie says, hello, Angie and Brad. Hey, Susie.
Hey.
She says, what if we never find out our purpose, but live an honest, hardworking lifestyle doing the best we can? If we are happy and content, isn't that okay? Hell yeah, that's okay. That's what it's all about, being happy and content. If you are happy, you know what? I want to say something. Sometimes our purpose in life is not our job, but sometimes even, if we work at the gas station, we can be important to people. And I don't just mean for selling them gas, but here's an example. Back when I was a single mom, there was this little tiny gas station near my home that I used to stop at. And I would stop there because it was tiny and I could be inside the gas station and practically have my hand still in my car. So if my son was asleep in the car, I could literally, like if it wasn't hot or cold outside, I could literally pull up, hand the guy my money without even not touching my car. It was that small. Well, anyway, the man was this philosopher type guy. He seemed like he totally understood life on a level that I didn't. He was older than me. He was, you know, gentle looking, like a grandpa or a father type of person. And he really did positively affect me in some big ways. And he just worked in a gas station. And I kept asking him, why are you working in a gas station? You seem so intelligent and so this and that. And that was offensive, by the way, to say that. But but he told me, he's like, well, this isn't, my purpose in life. This is just my job. Sometimes your purpose in life isn't your job, is what I'm trying to say. Susie, maybe your purpose in life is to love the people in your life and to help them to create something amazing. Or maybe your purpose in life is just to do the best you can. And that's okay if that's the case. There's nothing wrong with being satisfied. God, everybody wants to be satisfied with what they have. B-Rad, thoughts?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, sometimes for a lot of people, it's just being the greatest or best mom you can be. For other people, I think what it is, if it's your job, do that job to like the best of your capabilities, 100, 110%, but always be in the moment and always be mindful. Because I think if you're mindful in every moment, that helps uncover your purpose.
Yeah. And you have to know what it is that makes you happy. And Susie, if you know what makes you happy, then that's important. And you have to know that sometimes you might affect someone just by smiling at them in the grocery store or letting them pull out in front of you in traffic or anything like that, the smallest things. I don't believe that everybody's here you know to do something that is considered amazing or whatever you want to call it, because amazing is whatever you think it is. you know you wouldn't believe how many people who don't have like big fancy jobs have affected me personally in very positive ways. I'm just saying, if you're a grandma, maybe you're that one person that supports the grandchild that's being abused by a narcissist. I mean, or whatever, you know what I mean? Or if you are, a pet owner and you've offered a pet sit for somebody else's pet. I mean, I don't know. There are so many different things you can be doing that matter that nobody thinks about. It's not about the grandiosity factor. It's about being happy. It's about being fulfilled. And if being fulfilled for you is just loving your family and taking care of them, girl, you're on the right track. If being fulfilled for you is just having a 9 to 5 job and having a home that makes you feel happy and proud, on the right track. It's not about what anyone else thinks is right. It's about what feels right to you, right? That's what I think. All right. Charlene Robinson says, so since the narc is all about picture perfect and looks in the public, seems my wife is looking for attention. Yeah, that's typical. Yeah, yeah. Um, Ashley says, I don't know why my normal oh, hair changes color ID is gone. Oh, that's weird. Hey, hair changes color. Ashley, how you doing, girl? Okay. I don't know why it's gone either, but I'm glad to see it. Sheila says, once we find our identity, it will fall in place. Yeah, that's important. And like I said, sometimes your identity is just be the best possible version of yourself, whatever that is for you. You get to decide what that is. The world doesn't decide. The narcissist doesn't decide. Be red, and I don't decide. You decide what your best you is, and be that. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Jamie Lynn says difference between the discard and the final discard. Maybe there's only a final discard. May there only be a final discard. Typically not, but it does happen, and we'll talk more about that in our later session today. Right now, we are just about to wrap up because I'm thinking I'm going to run this little girl to the doctor really quick. Um,
Which is your purpose right now.
at this moment, that's right, that's right, because that is one of my purposes in life is to raise children and make them. I mean, it has become one. I didn't shoot. It wasn't my original plan, but I do believe one of my purposes is to take care of those kids for sure. Eddie says, my purpose in life is to establish complete and total inner peace. I don't know if it will happen, but I'm going to keep working on it. Yeah, that right there can be an absolute purpose. Karen Johnston says, hello. Eddie No says, Tommy, really? Okay. Ashley says, I don't know what my true calling is, but I think I'm on the path to finding it. Yeah, you probably are if you think that. It does tend to feel, you kind of feel like a tug in your soul almost when you're on that path. And like, I get excited about stuff when I find something that I know is the right thing or that grooves in the right way. I'm like, oh my God, that's cool. Yeah. So I get excited. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Monty says I would probably be volunteering to work with children, writing for children, and rescue shelter for animals. But I would probably adopt them all. See, Bonnie, right there. I mean, I think it's clear that there's something in your life purpose about working with kids and or animals. Maybe you should have a mission that does an animal shelter that kids get to volunteer at and come to help take care of the animals. I volunteered in an animal shelter as a teenager and I loved it. It was great. I was like 12, I guess, when I started doing it. I did it for a couple of years, and I would go and clean the cages and walk the dogs and pet the cats. It was awesome. It was great. So I think a lot of kids could really enjoy that, especially kids who can't have pets at home or because they live in an apartment or their parents won't let them or whatever. And pets are great for lowering stress levels and blood pressure and everything else. Thoughts, Brad?
Yeah, exactly. I think you pretty much covered it.
Yep. Yep. All right. I think, okay, I'm going to read one or two more comments and then we'll probably wrap up. Okay, Mirad?
Yeah.
All right. Pat Meadville says, fantastic topic. I've been on a spiritual journey after my breakup. It's an amazing learning experience. I've had a rough life. Finally, at 53, I'm on the right path. Nothing wrong with that. That is amazing. Congratulations. And Ashley Thrasher says, if I didn't have to worry about money, I'd take my DJ skills and teach underprivileged about DJing and music production all around the world. Ashley, why don't you start doing that on the internet? Start doing it on YouTube and then start selling courses. You can do that. You should come over to the Empath Mastermind group, girl. I'm just saying. Okay, moving right along. I could teach you how to run that business from your computer at home. Okay. And eventually you could travel, tour, oh, whatever. Okay. Eddie knows. Okay, says Karen, that's messed up. Okay, we're going to come back to that. Bonnie says, I used to think working with the elderly, but my 88-year-old mother is exhausting me now. Well, that's because she's counting on you for like probably literally her every need. And that's not really fair to you on so many levels. Just saying, in my personal opinion. And I know Bonnie has been through a lot with that elderly mother. So, yeah. Maura says, time to make the donuts. She's going to work. Yeah, Carlita said the same thing I did. Ashley, start doing it on YouTube. Yup. Please do. All right. Pat Meadville says, strangely, I thank my narc. Oh, yeah, because it changes. You learn a lot when you're with one of those people and you really understand yourself better than most people do. And you understand so many things about life differently than most people do, for sure. Yeah. All right. AK, good morning. We are. Oh, Shannon O'Brien says to Faith, my cousin has drug related criminal record and was able to become a teacher. Not sure how, but he did. He became a special ed teacher, and his first job was in Alaska, very remote. Interesting. All right. Okay, guys, I want to keep talking, but I really got to run. I will be back here later today at 1 p.m. Central Time for our usual Talk to Me Tuesdays second session of the day. That one will be narcissistic abuse recovery support. B. Rad, any last words before we wrap up for the day?
Hey, I just want to say thank you all for coming to another exciting week and another episode of the Empowered Empath. I love you guys. So always remember, if you're not a priority in somebody, don't make somebody a priority who only makes you an option. Yeah.
Absolutely. And as always, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of my day, part of my life, and thanks for letting me be a part of yours. It really does mean a lot to me. We will see you soon. All right, we're wrapping it up here, I think.